Hello, story lovers, and welcome back to our cozy corner of the internet. Today, we're diving into a tale that is sure to wiggle its way right into your heart. It all started after a gentle rain shower. You know that magical time when the world feels brand new. The garden was sparkling, with tiny water droplets clinging to every leaf and petal like little diamonds. The air smelled fresh and clean, filled with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers. Everything was quiet and peaceful. Out in this freshly washed world was our hero, Biscuit. Biscuit is a brown cockapoo with fur the color of a warm cookie and eyes that hold all the curiosity in the world. As he trotted through the wet grass, his paws leaving little prints on the soft ground, something caught his attention. He stopped, his floppy ears perking up. What was it? Down in the rich, dark soil, something was squiggly, something was wiggly. Biscuit's big, brown eyes widened. Worms, the rain had coaxed them out of their underground homes, and they were popping up everywhere, dancing in the damp earth. Now, Biscuit had seen many things in his little life: butterflies, bees, the occasional grumpy squirrel, but this was a whole new level of fascinating. He took a cautious hop closer, his tail giving a tentative wag. He lowered his nose to the ground, sniffing deeply. What were these strange, wriggly creatures? He tilted his head from one side to the other, a classic puppy move that meant he was deep in thought. His tail started wagging faster and faster, thumping a happy rhythm against a nearby flower pot. The worms, unaware they were being studied by a fluffy scientist, continued their squiggly dance. And that's when a truly brilliant, if slightly silly, idea popped into Biscuit's head. If they could wiggle, why couldn't he? Suddenly, Biscuit decided to copy their moves. He lowered his belly to the ground and tried to wriggle his body just like a worm. He wiggled his shoulders, then his hips, his fluffy tail wagging so hard it looked like a propeller getting ready for takeoff. He looked less like a graceful worm and more like a floppy, squiggly puppy trying to do a new dance. His friends, who had been watching from a safe distance, couldn't hold back their amusement. Barnaby the rabbit, who was usually quite serious, let out a snort and flopped over onto his side, his long ears twitching with laughter. A little bluebird perched on a fence post hopped from foot to foot, letting out a series of cheerful squawks that sounded suspiciously like giggles. Even Squeaky the squirrel, who was busy trying to bury a nut, got so distracted by Biscuit's antics that he tumbled headfirst into a pile of damp leaves, chattering with delight. But Biscuit was in his own little world. He was committed to mastering the worm wiggle. He spun in a circle, trying to catch his own tail, then flopped onto his back and wiggled his paws in the air. The garden, which was so peaceful just moments before, was now filled with the sound of happy giggles and joyful barks. Biscuit's funniest moment, the grand finale of his performance, came when he decided to join the worm wiggle parade. With a running start, he launched himself toward a particularly large group of worms. But the ground was slick with mud from the rain. Instead of a graceful landing, Biscuit went into a full-on slide. He slid through the mud, leaving a long, messy trail behind him. Tiny paw prints scattered in every direction as he tried to get his footing. The worms, startled by the furry brown mudslide, wriggled away in every direction, disappearing back into the safety of the soil. Biscuit finally came to a stop in a small puddle, splashing muddy water everywhere. He sat up, looking a little dazed. He was covered in mud from his nose to the tip of his tail. He had leaves stuck in his fur and a big, happy, muddy grin on his face. He shook his whole body, sending a spray of mud and water flying, which only made his friends laugh harder. As the sun began to peek out from behind the clouds, the garden slowly settled back down. The worms were safely back underground, aerating the soil. Barnaby the rabbit was nibbling on a clover, still shaking his head in amusement. The bluebird was preening its feathers, and Squeaky was finally burying his nut, his bushy tail twitching. And Biscuit, he was a muddy, happy, and thoroughly wriggly mess. He had turned a simple rainy day into a giggle-filled adventure for everyone. He proved that sometimes the best days are the ones where you're not afraid to be a little silly, to try a new dance, and to get a little bit muddy. He trotted back towards the house, his tail held high, leaving a trail of happy, muddy paw prints behind him. What a wonderful reminder that joy can be found in the simplest of moments, especially when you share them with friends. Thank you so much for joining us for Biscuit's Wiggly adventure today. We hope it brought a smile to your face. If you enjoyed our story, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming tales. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.